Let's get back into this game. Let's see how it goes this time. And since it got so fair and square at the end of that game, well, let's hope that that is the case now as well. And this first out that we're going to be looking at, and it's going to be CEX executing over towards that B side, and they do open up with the first frags. Brody and Astro working out together with LS, PT, Ian, and Mighty Max going down. Ezio in water, stuck a bit. Astro's going to take him out eventually. LS spotting him out. Decided to back off as they see Luzza. He is pretty much just flicking back and forth between these corners to see if he's possible of getting a frag, but they worked that out perfectly together, and CEX with the best of communication right there to take him out. Perfect timing, and not only that, crossfire.
CEX take the first. Oh my god, my voice is already going. Like, oh lordy lord. First round on the board for CEX. On the T side, they'll buy up into the 3 rifles, 2 SMGs. For I'm just going to call it attempt number 2 at the world record attempt for the longest overtime in a CSGO game. I'm just going to meme it out. I'm just going to meme it out at this point. UMP out for Endpoint. SCO's going to hold on to that one, but it will be a forced buy from the CTs. Flashbang and smoke to hold off any of the CEX players if they do decide to go aggressive towards it. And other than that, just upgraded pistols across the board with the Kevlar. Luzza is going to have a P250 alone. Not much more than that in his case. Probably saving for another round by maybe looking for that AWP early on in the match, which, well, would be pretty alright for him. Of course, he was the main AWPer for the Endpoint side, and he's been able to get that one down in a lot of very good positions. The same with Astro, as you actually talk about it. So, a minute to go now. CEX will creep their way into the long area. It will be a lurker in the form of Rezu going aggressive, going to see if he can try to take down Luzza, but it's not going to happen so far. Mighty Max spots out the information, has the bomb identified, and now the rest of Endpoint will start to rotate on towards the A site. Will be first contact on Mighty Max, takes down Astro. Brody sees he's going to be able to take down Ian. It's going to be JD coming in from the back, takes down Mighty Max, and Ezio able to trade. It's a 3-on-3 situation, and Luzza tapping away to see if he can get anything. No, not to be the case in this case. CEX get the bomb down. 2 UMPs and an AK versus 1 UMP and 2 pistols. And actually PT from the back will take down LS. So Endpoint, shades of the overtime madness we just had, will bring things back to Endpoint's favour in this round. Now they're going to go hunting for the rest of the T players. Flashbangs will go up, but it won't do much on JD. Takes down 1, looks for a second onto Luzza, takes that 3rd kill. Not going to happen. PT sprays, looking for the second onto Rezu. Will he find it? He's going to go playing for time, and in this case, that's all he needs to do. No defuse kit on PT. I think this defuse, this might be very, very close, but he's not going to have enough time. No, it's not going to happen today. He's going to back off. He's going to run away and save the AK into the next one. CEX will take a amount of damage, and they all have their second round on the board.
Well, luckily they do, and I mean, just looking at how close that was, it really takes me back to that overtime. It's like I'm scarred for life after that. So 2-0, and we're looking at PT with an AK-47 picked up and saved. Still doesn't invest in that def kit, even though I suppose, I mean, sure, they're down to a low in terms of money, but a def kit here and there can really change things in terms of, I mean, you could go for a smoke diffuse and you'd get that. Like, a diffuse kit is definitely worth it. Small investment that can change so much. The EX right here is going to be going wild. They go with the Tech 9s, actually. I love how they prioritize your economical situation. Even though they won these 2 first rounds, they want to make sure they can buy up and bank up as much as possible for future rounds in which they might lose. And PT's going to be here. He's ready for not only one, but a second one is going to be coming up. LS, however, comes out with a shocking surprise and gets him. PT's going to be going down. LS as well by Ezio, who,
no way.
From the back. And look at Luzzo. Please, why didn't you go for the knife? That's a lot of money wasted, to be honest. But anyways, Brody with a frag on Ezio, and from the other side of the map, or other side of the top side of the map, JD is shooting bullets, missing out on many of them. Eventually hits him. It's gonna be Luzza going down 3-0. And do I say right now, Luzza?
Luzza, you're saying it right.
I love how he changed his name just to make me say it right.
I was going to say, he changed his name to describe what he thought of that overtime. Yeah. Just Luz, ugh. we're going to overpass again. Well, that was my reaction at the very least. AWP's out in the first rifle round here. Luzza will have it on himself. Astro going to have it with the CEX players. So it will be, well, a fairly even scoreline and a very even chance here between the two. CEX looking to hold on to their lead. Endpoint looking to get their first round on the board here, and that will be very, very doable for them. in this particular case, holding a very weird angle. They've got 2 players over towards the middle area of the A site, one over towards Heaven to watch B site as well. But the AWP is over towards mid, which is actually a very decent place to play it from in this case. So, a minute and 10 to go. Endpoint stalking out time, CEX stalking out a first pick, and so far they're not going to have any of it. Endpoint counter flashes coming on through, and Lazar, did he spot out the gun barrel? I'm not sure if it was long enough. He will actually end up peeking, and Astro will get taken down to start things off. 55 seconds for CEX to start making a move here.
Well, let's see CEX right now. And they got 1 player over towards B, and that's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Rezu, is it? Rezu's just playing with the minds of this team right now. PT's forced to back off after that smoke lands. Ezio with the frag, and it does, I mean, encourage PT to go back there, but I don't really think it's enough to go for the fake. And Ian decides to back off all the way over towards A as they go for the first frag. In the back, they've got another one to deal with, and that's going to be Mighty Max, who, by the way, has been doing that time and time after. I don't really see how CEX doesn't read that by now. They had an entire overtime. They had 2 entire games in rounds to figure out that was going to happen, and they still haven't learned from their mistakes. Can you imagine? Oh, CEX. Anyways, going into this next round, we're looking at an investment on a smoke and a flashbang. Not much more than that. Actually, armory isn't there for them, so I mean, buddy bump and aim punch is gonna be a pain in the, you know what?
I love it how you side with CEX as if you know this is typical of them. Good stuff. Lazar starts things off, takes down LS. And the rest of Endpoint will start to clean things up. Astro able to get one, but Mighty Max lines them all up, does tons of damage. Yeah. All left to Ian to clean things up. Nicely done, 2-3. CEX still in the lead, but Endpoint getting themselves 2 on the board. And now would be a time where CEX might end up ecoing. Or actually, they could get an pistol Kevlar out and be alright. But in this case, I think they might just, yeah, it looks like they are going to go for the pistol Kevlar, the upgrades on their side. Tech 9s, Deagles, P250s, not much more than that. Quick play, get a bomb down, take some guns away from the hands of Endpoint. But other than that, just looking to try and get up to that gun round in the moment. Ezio is going to go aggressive, actually going to get flashed his way in, takes down Rezu. Good teamwork from his teammate behind him. Take that first pick, back away. Great start from Endpoint. We'll take the first pick, and CEX are forced to go rushing down into the site. Mighty Max gets one, and that's going to trade one back, and Astro turns it back into a 3-on-3. Picks up an AK for him. AWP also in the hands of LS. This has actually been a great comeback from the CEX side.
Yeah, let's see how far they're going to be allowed to go, though. Astro going in for the frag on PT eventually. Good reply frag, and it brings them that 1-man advantage that they need at this stage. Now knowing that both of the players are playing. Actually, they don't. They didn't spot the other player out. I think Ian is still working his way around there, and he's coming out from container. This is 2 players from the same side of the map. Ian trying to get information slowly, working methodically again for that retake. Smoke's going to be coming out along to block off any potential threats from there. Goes in for the headshot on Astro, and that's the offer who was stuck on long. Body block is coming in, and that's going to be Ezio with the lowest amount of HP going in for the defuse. This is perfect play coming out from Endpoint. Great retake coming in.
3-3 now, as I pop myself a Strepsil because my voice just can't handle this anymore. CEX. Excuse me, I know it's a bit rude, but I just I need it right now. Like after that madness.
I could use the Strepsils as well.
Hold on, I'm gonna go long. If you see if you can catch it over in Sweden. Ready? And throw. And there it is. Astro gets the first kill on Lazar. Good pick from the CEX side. Endpoint will lose their main AWP. I don't know if Lazar actually brought into that one. I wasn't paying attention, but Mighty Max is going to be able to trade it at the very least. And PT will come back as well onto JD. So Endpoint will be doing some good work here. Bombs dropped for the CEX side. Astro's going to go back and get it. But Endpoint once again scrambled to get themselves back into a decent defensive position. 2 players over on the A site, 2 players over on B. CEX have got options. They can go either side at this point. They're going to have to face the same amount of resistance.
Your Astro, yeah, with that op, he's just moving. Gonna go in for that initial peek eventually. PT, the AG raining over through. Flashbangs are coming as well, and a bit unsynced or insynced, but doesn't really matter at this stage. They don't buy any time for themselves either. They're just wasting their utilities at this stage because they don't know when eventually CEX is gonna push. And as they do, when CEX do initialize that first very execute, Endpoint's not gonna have enough nades to block them off and buy enough time. It's all gonna be an individual skill, and that doesn't seem to be a problem as Ezio goes in for those first 2 frags. Brody and CeX going down. No, CeX was that. Brody and was it Astro going down as they push in from short. 4-3. I'm saying CEX as a team name right now. That's bad. That means this has gone on for too long.
Our minds are going numb here, and so our throats apparently. 4-3 favours the Endpoint side. CEX not going to get the AWP out for this one. Just JD with the UMP. Endpoint will once again just move their way into a decent defensive position. There's actually one sandwiched in between 2. I'm not sure if that's caught in the stairs area or the halls area. It looks like it actually is stairs, so he will get himself out of dodge. But a good challenge gone to waste in the case of Endpoint. CEX holding things down with a T side that looks to push further and further and closer on towards the A site. Lazza is still there to cause problems. AWP in hand. He's played it very, very well. Looks to do the same. Tags up Brody C. 24 HP on him. And 1 minute to go now. CEX will now prompt themselves to move a little bit closer to the site.
Let's see here, Brody. Obviously, as he's leg down, there's going to be quite a dramatic change in terms of who goes first and who doesn't. I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference at this stage either, because Ian is popping in from behind, and that is really just surrounding them, dealing enormous amounts of damage. LS now down at 23 HP, Brody together with him down on 24. That's really 1 health point away from each other. Lazza going in for the first frag. Brody going down. Good reply coming in from Astro, obviously, but is it going to be enough? No, it doesn't look like it. Mighty Max going in for 1. Astro going down as he does. A jump through the smoke is coming in from JD, and that is just enough to finish off the entirety of that site. And it's like Endpoint, they just gave it up at that stage. Now is the time for Ezio to come through. Goes in for the frag on LS. And it's a 2-on-2 in which the bomb is perfectly planted for CEX to take them down. Ezio, he is looking to see if he can get defensive enough to take the first frag, and he does. Together with PT, they work it out magnificently. And no pick on that AK-47. They're looking for the off, obviously. So 4-3 is now turning 5-3, I suppose. Yeah.
Yes, it will. Endpoint taking a definitive lead here on their CT side. So this is definitely not the same CT side that we were seeing in the last one. So it will go to the favour of Endpoint, and the CEX once again getting themselves at the AKs and the UMP. So for their T side.
Oh, we got info on the first map. It was 31-28 apparently.
Really?
One. Yeah, 5 overtimes. We're MR3, right? So I guess that makes sense.
I have to go back and check. I'm not sure. I thought I had it pretty damn nicely. It's going to be PT picking up 2. JD going to get trading 3 kills for PT as they just clean up the CEX push this time. Brody C gets SEO. 3-on-2 situation. 3-on-1 situation as Mighty Max takes care of JD on the water area. All up to Brody on site. Bombs down towards Monster. PT has that area locked out, and Lazza has his crosshair trained nice on smoke. Takes him out of the action. 6-3. Endpoint double up the CEX score here.
Oh, this is looking better and better for Endpoint. Again, the way it did their CT side earlier. Let's just hope, for the love of the gods, that they don't go into any overtimes here. Looking at this investment, it looks like CEX are satisfied enough with that UMP. Not that they can buy anything heavier, but the UMP of all things is it's a powerful weapon, and you can utilize it as a cash machine as well if you let that player go first and go close range, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing as well, prioritizing that extra cash if anything. And if not, yeah, he does go in for that frag eventually, so 600 extra for him. Ezio goes down, and Brody with another frag onto PT. Gonna be trades after trades here, but at the end of the day, bomb's gonna get planted, and CEX is in this advantage with 1 man. Lazza with 15 HP remaining could go in for 1 and make this equalizer count so bad for them, and it does.
2 versus 3.
Yeah.
The favour of CEX. Endpoint looks like they're going to be looking for exits. Actually, Mighty Max is coming in from the back, so this ain't bad. Flashbangs are going to be able to take down 1. The AWP from Lazza comes back in. Is he going to look for the second? He's going to actually get found by Astro. The diffuser's coming in, and Astro just about connects the spray together to keep it together for CEX. A lot of members of the team lost in that because I'm losing my mind. lost in that particular exchange. So for CEX, it will be a very expensive round. Endpoint doing a lot of damage, so... excuse me, wow, my god. Endpoint now, getting the AWP on their side. Loza, Astro also up for CEX with the AWP. So Endpoint will once again take an aggressive hold on necessary sites.
Oh, let's see here. That, ooh, the weapon isn't sticking out. Just so lucky. Astro. Oh, they're going to get him anyways. Mighty Max, he was waiting. He was so stone cold the way he was earlier. But it didn't pay off the way he thought this time. And this is probably CEX finally learning from their earlier mistakes here. 4-on-5 situation, and with a one-man disadvantage on this map, if CEX now pushes with full power, full team on towards the B site, they shouldn't be able to lose this, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Endpoint are really spread out. They've got 2 players on the A site with one very far away from a rotation angle. So yeah, he's just waiting for anyone to come here. They're going to be sneaking down there. Flashbangs are coming through. PT has to quickly decide on whether he wants to back off or not, and he does. Ian with a flashbang coming in. Sky one, to be honest, goes in for another one. It'll be the 1-for-1 trade at the late game of this.
4-on-4 coming in. SEO is going to be able to get LS. Astro takes down Ian. Laza getting 1. SEO coming back in. Brody C with 2 kills, 3 kills. 3 headshots in quick succession. 6-5. CEX. Now, start to call things back against the Endpoint side. And Eco coming in from Endpoint. Sorry, hold on, I almost just breathed in my lozenge. And, well, CEX going in for a bit of a half buy of their own. Well, I thought it was a half buy. There were 2 pistols out for Rezu and JD, but in this case, it will be the UMP and AK that get dropped for them. So Endpoint likely to win this one. They will actually buy through a little bit here. Investment coming in. 4 Kevlars, 1 head armor. Invested pistols, P250s, 5.7s, Deagles. CZ as well on Ian. And the Endpoint side look to end up losing this one pretty quickly here, as it will be Laza. First man to challenge, takes down LS. Nicely played. Brody C comes in, trades him out. Nicely done from the CX side. They'll lose one, they'll take one back, and Brody C has already got a good read into where Mighty Max is. Sprays him down. Easy done. Easy kill. CX now rolling their way on towards A site. PT takes down 1, so even despite CX's extra power, Endpoint are still showing off their ability to trade, as PT will be able to get a second. Brody C takes him down. 2-on-2 situation. It does favour the CEX just by a little bit, as they do get the bomb down, and Endpoint have to set up for, well, what will be a monster retake here.
Yeah, this is going to be really hard for them. I mean, looking at, make sure they've got 2 angles in which they can surround the site, but at the same time, CEX can just position themselves out of sight and wait for them to come out. However, they don't do that. They're a bit offensive and greedy to get that information, and it gives away a lot for them. Ian with the C-75 gets that frag. How is he allowed to? Brody going down. That makes it 6, or is that what? 7-5 now. CEX, I mean, all they could really rely on in that round was Brody, and he can't boil down to that.
7-5
this
there.
Is, yeah.
Endpoint will get themselves, well, at least the advantage. CEX, in this case, well, actually their economy is going to be, well, their economy is going to be in the dumps. They're going to force buy anyway. AK out, 2 UMPs, 2 Tech 9s, but it is a force buy nonetheless. And, well, quick plays onto sites is what they're going to have to be looking for, as Endpoint will set themselves up perfectly to be dealing with this particular map up here. As it will be first play, yeah, like I said, in towards the middle area. Toilets, Tech 9's taking point here. Astro and LS going aggressive here, seeing what they can find. Onto Mighty Max to be the first man to challenge. But actually, Molotov out. Laza actually takes the first pick and takes the first kill, takes down LS. And now he'll be waiting out to see if anybody goes towards long, but he spots out ahead and takes him out through the wall. JD goes forward in the smokes. Are going to be pouring in from the CEX side, or the Endpoint side, excuse me, to try and hold off the T's for a little bit longer. Good grenade. This is going to hurt Astro. Actually, a lot more, a little bit less than I was actually expecting. So 1 minute to go now. And CEX has successfully held from the site for a little bit, but they've still got enough time to make another push.
Laza's just waiting for them to make this initial from long. Misses out on that first shot. Eventually readdresses it and gets it. Reza's going to be going down. And Brody There's not much for him to do right now, except for waiting for the fact that Endpoint's going to be eventually pushing. PT's here with the M4A4. And Brody, yeah, he's going to go for the peak. Eventually goes down. PT is ready for that and makes it 8-5. Not too much of a problem for them. At this stage, I feel like Endpoint more and more have to adapt into that kind of playstyle where, okay, let's just back off and play this safe, because it looks like CeX are trying to bait them out a bit with these offensive peaks. For example, Laza out on long. Now that they know he's going to be peeking out there for the longest amount of time with that off, they're probably going to shoulder peek and do everything in their powers to flash him out and get him any second. And this is what you have here, I suppose. The entirety of that team trying to surround him inside of balloons eventually gets him. They know that they can utilize those kind of strats when they've got these pistols. And this is something that Endpoint has to start reading. It's a mistake that they fall into times and times after, not having a good control over the money situation all in all. Like, they don't understand where their enemies are in terms of money. Eventually they do, obviously, to the pistols being shown, but could it be too late sometimes? Yeah, definitely. At this stage, though, they save it by getting another frag here. It's going to be Brody and JD going down. But shouldn't be too far away from a win here. LS down to 8 HP. Does hit a few shots there, but it's not going to be enough. Ian in the back finishes off that offer. Yeah. To sum it up, Rezu left alone. Should be going down here any second. Block in his hands. Dinks PT. It's something, but it's not everything.
In this case, it will amount to nothing. 9-5. Favors the Endpoint side. CEX. I have no choice but to buy up. Of course, it is the last round of the half, and well, a very different half that we saw in the last match. Of course, Endpoint, or whoever it was on the T side, managed to absolutely dominate. In this case, it's going to be more of an even matchup. So these guys have found their groove. They found their rhythm. And that will be CEX looking to set themselves up quick into the B site. Ezio gets spotted out, spots out Astro as well, as it will be Ezio and PT taking a lot of damage. And Ezio takes 3 kills. JD and LS finally trying back. They know that Ezio's there. They're going to do some serious damage. The Molotov won't push him out of place, and it's going to be the mad spray coming in from Rezu. The grenade should have just about do it. No, it won't. Actually, it goes a little bit too far out of place. A 2-on-3 situation that favors the CEX, or sorry, favors the Endpoint side. And all up to Laza to close things out with a very nice wall bang. 10-5 to the favor of the Endpoint side.
Yeah. There you have it. CEX now not as far down as it was last time. But my question is if the stake can flip here, you know what I'm saying? If we could see a 10-5 in this next half coming up from CEX on the CT side. I do, however, think Endpoint, or they've got their mental state into this. They won the earlier game, right? Which is, I mean, it's good enough to come into this one. I don't really have much to say, really, at this stage. What's surprising me the most, though, is that CEX, they've had 2 maps of rounds in which they've seen what their enemies have done, and they just continue doing the same thing. Same thing goes for Endpoint as well. They've done the same thing over and over and over again, and still these teams fall in love with doing they never stop. They just stay there for such a long time and do the same things over and over again, and no one learns from it. No one's ever taught that, oh, that's a mistake, don't do that against this team. Astro with a sick one-tap on a PT decides to back off, and it's an important one, to be honest. However, the nades aren't think down, and that's going to be the importance of the T side at this stage. Endpoint coming up towards the A side. We'll be retaliating up on that frag, but it's not going to be enough. 3-on-4 situation. Reza, another one. Ian goes down. Reza and him were pretty much key for winning this. That's going to be it. Brody with the finishing 2 frags. Ezio and Mighty Max going down 10-6.
Yeah, CX taking a pistol. At least they'll have that much going for their CT side, so there's always that. And Endpoint will be forced onto pistols, not even getting a bomb plant out during that last round. They are going to force by Tech 9's Armored Eagles. CEX should have themselves the 3-round conversion in this particular manner here. Ian going to be the first man in, trying to make first contact with the Endpoint side. Ezio's also going to go in there with him. Probably not best to take the forefront with the bomb here, as it will be the first pick. Not coming in. Ian taps twice for the D, but isn't going to find it. A good grenade comes in from the CEX players. There's a lot of damage. It's up to Rezu, Brody, C, and LS to just clean things up. Rezu looking for his triple. He's going to find it. $1,800 in the bank. The CEX will have their 7th.
I love the meme going on. Apparently, I'm Casey Neistat now. I like that. Yeah, yo, what's good in the hood?
That is not. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a compliment. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm honest. Like I don't like. For real, it's what it is. Anyways, I'm Casey Neistat now, and I've been casting for I don't know how long. How does he speak, by the way?
No,
I've never seen this video. Anyways, I was gonna impersonate him, but then I forgot how he sounds. PT, however, going in for the first 2 frags of this round. Make that a third, I was about to say, but doesn't happen to do so. Ezio with a frag on a Rezu, and this is a quite dramatic low-budget round coming in from Endpoint. Even an Echo, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, I managed to get a couple of good kills on the board, so 10-8 here. It will be CEX managing to convert their 3. AWP out for Astro already. And Endpoint looking for the 5 AK buy-up with the utility force as well. PT, 2 flashbangs, smoke and molly. There's their next man down with a flash smoke and a molly apiece. And the rest of Endpoint have just a couple of different smokes, a couple of different flashes that they can use to execute onto site. Ian's going to be, well, he's not going to have anything in this particular case. Mighty Max starts things off, takes down Rezu. Brody C going to see if he can try him back, and he will do so. Doesn't even take a lick of damage, which is that not what can be said for Mighty Max. As LS also sitting back towards Monster, takes down 2, puts it back to the CEX favor, and Mighty Max and PT going to be left alone to try and defend this in a 2-on-3 situation. They get the bomb down. Brody C still sitting towards water, might have a good chance here, and JD is already setting up the backstab coming in here. Endpoint better keep their heads on a swivel, as JD will give away his position over towards this T spawn. Backs off instead, and now Endpoint will have to go and hit the site. Bomb gets dropped by Brody C, takes a double. PT will trade it back, at least 1 in heaven, however. Better keep watching out. Astro watching that cross there. It will be 1 peek, 1 shot that Astro actually manages to miss, but a second flick lands anyway. Beautifully done. CEX. Oh my god, it's attempt 2. It's attempt 2 for the longest overtime. It's starting to come true. CEX have dominated Endpoint once again to bring it back to 1 round deficit here.
Yeah.
If this goes to overtime, I'm asking for more money. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous. We've already seen 2 maps of Overpass. You literally think we're gonna sit here and watch like 4 maps of Overpass?
Ooh, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not gonna bank on that kind of likelihood. I don't think so. I'm hoping not either.
So. It could be so. Like, we're looking at a 10-9 here. It's getting closer as that first frag happens from LS. Come closer to a overtime, obviously. But an equal score, obviously, is what we're looking at. Tech 9's coming through. Not gonna be enough. 10-10, equalized score. CEX. Are they gonna make this now? Are they gonna take 6 straight rounds home? Is my question. Or are we gonna be seeing them battling this one out, make it even more fair and square than it already is?
Yeah, I mean, it's so back and forth. This match could turn at the drop of a dime. I mean, like, what more do you say in this case? Yeah. 10-10, like this whole thing is on a complete swivel. Like, this one could be back and forth again. This could be a stomp from CEX. They could take their 6th. Endpoint could be in a lot of different problems. But I mean, what we've seen in the last map, this one could go to either one of those situations. It could go in any direction at this point, as JD will start things off, taking down Lazar. On the Endpoint side, CEX now will have to back off and try and defend site because they have left short open. And now the AWP from Astro would peek in, take down Mighty Max. 1 pick for him, puts it to a 5-on-3 Endpoint. Have bomb control still. No backstab being set up by the CEX players, although there is one back towards short. And there is one from Endpoint on the site, so they're going to call that in, and that might actually running into a trap here as PT starts to make his way. LS gets Ezio. JD is going to end up falling. He doesn't expect Rezu, takes him down. Nice double for PT. Starting to get him onto the site, and it's going to be E style. Oh no! LS and Brody C walk into the aggression, and Endpoint turn this from a disadvantage back to a very nice advantage. Astro alone in a 1 versus 2, and it's all on PT to secure himself the triple, and the 11th round on the board for the Endpoint boys.
Oh, they do win that round, and 11-10 is what we're looking at. CEX. I mean, they're not going to be down to a low in terms of money for this round, but in the next round, we're definitely looking at something that's a little bit more heavy for them. However, they do have a good amount of money stacked on one of the players, so that's going to be Astro. The rest of the gang down to 350 or below. Which, what are you laughing at?
No, just the chat, that's all.
I was looking at that earlier. I had to mute. Anyways, JD. Starting to back off. Astro. Just waiting for the gang to fill up pretty much. An Endpoint. They don't want to make that first move just yet. Flashbangs are going to be coming over towards long. And it's Luzza with that op. Magnificent opper in the earlier map that we saw. Oh, by the way, Overpass was that, yeah.
Yeah, just to remind everybody,
yeah.
if it hasn't been memed out enough already.
JD and the gang are just forced to stay on their positions for I don't know how long they're going to be staying. Actually, this is because what you can do in these scenarios is you can take small peeks back and forth, for example, on B and get information by pushing, but they don't really want to commit to that, and it gives so much for Endpoint because right now they can just play around with having as much map control as possible. As like it's crazy because Endpoint doesn't know anything. Oh yeah, CeX doesn't know anything. Jesus, I'm mixing the teams up now.
It will be Ezio starts things off onto Rezu for the next after plant here. CeX 2-on-4 situation, and I think that they've already decided that now is the time to throw in the towel for this round. Not much they can really do here in Endpoint. Be forced. Well, Endpoint will take another one. Sorry, excuse me. Even I'm getting the teams mixed up. Jesus. Can you believe this stream has been going for 3 hours and we're only on map 2? Like, that's the kind of insanity with all the delays and technical issues we've had this evening. Like, it's going to be one for the ages.
Freaking
and
storm.
The storm is killing us. And CeX will lose another round against the Endpoint side, 12-10, and it'll be LS actually charging PT. Imi gonna go, well, Ian, I should say. Imi doesn't want to be called Imi anymore. Ian gonna be able to take down LS, and CeX now going to, well, not even gonna buy up in this case. Just the pistols M4 save from the last round on Brody C, but not much more in the way of that. Endpoint look to have another round on the board, a very easy round on the board here as CeX stack up the B site. And then fall right back. 12-10 Endpoint having a nice advantage. Ian's trying to spray through the wall. Isn't going to find all of it. So the luck will play well to their favour because CeX still haven't rotated back towards the A. 2 players will start to make their way over there, but Ian's got all the information he needs at this point.
There we go. That's going to be the entry from Ian on the other side of the map, obviously. And this should provoke a lot of rotation towards B, but it doesn't. Astro actually is committed to go towards A. And I'm not sure if they spotted the players out in middle or if they just made too much sound utilizing nades and what's so not. However, another frag comes in on the B side, and they only rotate one of the players, Astro, again, to be the one to take the risk. This is where the rest of the team actually rotates over towards B as well, which couldn't be more perfect due to the fact that, well, Astro is left alone on the B side. And for the dink, misses out on a frag. PT takes him out, and another rotation is missed out for CeX. And this is, again, a scenario in which you have that one rifle, right? Put him in a spot on that A side to just stay and have the rest of the team go over towards B, or at least commit with a full team, or at least 4 players to one side when you have these kind of rounds. Risk it all. It's a high risk reward kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? This is, looking at it now, Endpoint, they're allowed to do anything. They're allowed to come out flawless on this.
Yep, no kills going against the Endpoint side. 13-10 is the score line for this T side. CeX buying back into this round. Astro with the AWP here for the CeX side. UMP coming out on Rezu, so they haven't got enough for the full rifle buy. So Endpoint will have that advantage in that case. Of course, the AWP and the 4 AKs coming out on their side. So CeX will once again set up the defensive. Actually going to be... Well, actually, the stat coming in again. They've got 4 players, I do believe, unless that is actually a boost over middle, which are actually taking a closer look. It actually is, excuse me. So they have got 2 players on A, 3 players on B, and a boost coming in from JD. He's got a lot of information, and this could be very, very deadly. If Mighty Max decide to push into either way, he's not going to be very secure. And the CeX side will just hold out for whatever they can. Endpoint have meanwhile creep their way up towards the long area. They don't have any information on this. So once they start getting some utility down, they might have to try and rotate. Brody C is already there, coming up towards Bank. 1 minute to go now. He will try and defend this long area. Already a pick coming on through. There we are. Like I said, JD in such a good position. Takes down Lazar. SEO. At least going to be a trade. Rezu back. A 4-on-4 situation. 45 seconds to go. Looks like it's going to be an execution on towards A. SEO gets LSPT. Gets JD. Doesn't expect him to be there. Brody C is also going to peek out and get taken down for the double. All on the AWP of Astro now. Not much he can do here. It looks like Endpoint might be running away with round number 14 here. And, well, the state of the economy of CeX also points to round number 15, a match point for Endpoint. And I won't go ahead and discuss what may be coming next.
And this is what's so important for Astro, obviously, now that you're talking about the money situation, is if he can't save that up, there's nothing to help them in the next round, pretty much. There's absolutely nothing for them to play their output as. And there you have it. It's going to be an op dropped. They don't even pick it up. They're rich. Or no, actually not. Ian goes for it. But they're rich anyways, you know. 14 to 10. And you're looking at CeX down to the heaviest minimum I've seen in a really long time. And it's Noka, or I said Rezu with the Armory, LS with a flashbang. So they indicate that they do have some sort of a plan for this round. However, I'm not really sure what that is going to be. They place a few players, 3 players over towards B with a 4th potential going over there from short, that is, through connector. I mean, it's not out of the way that they're going to be going B, but from what we've seen so far, it's usually an A push that backs off and eventually goes B from anything. If there's a too crowded A side. Actually, they got for all their players now on the B side. JD going down as a first one. Astro pushing in from behind, and this could be golden for him. Just times this correctly.
4 versus 5 situation. Endpoint have that same 4-man over to one side and lurk to the other. Setup that has worked out so well for them. However, that being said, they might rotate over towards B, which could potentially be a bad thing because it is actually Astro that spots out Imi, or Ian. He's actually going to be able to take him down. Nicely done. Brody C is also going to turn back onto PT, so CeX suddenly, they swing the advantage back into their favor, and now Endpoint will try and enter onto the B site. 2 AKs recovered for CeX. It will be SEO that starts things off for the push. 3 versus 3. Astro goes forward. Brody C can't land the 1Ds, and the AWP will take him out of the action. Rezu, excuse me, and LS going to meet the last 2 alive as Mighty Max spots out 1, tags down LS with the AK. Lazar gets Rezu, and that's all on LS to try and keep it together for CeX, and I don't think he can do it. Running away, LS saving the AK, and Endpoint take match point at 15 to 10.
This is, again, a very important save for the CT side. He's got to get that money anyways because he's on the CT side, obviously, and it does allow him to go for that op as well, if anything. So what we're about to expect here is probably that we should expect. Obviously, the armory as well as the nades. So full kit here for them, and their only chance ever to come back into this game is now. Endpoint are up at a maximum amount of money, a very good amount of money, however, and even if they do lose this round, it's not going to affect them too heavily going into the other one that we're going to be seeing. The X, they do strongly open up this one round. It's going to be Astro going in for a first frag, and this is taking me back, which is not necessarily a good thing to the first map that we saw. But we'll see how this goes. Astro could just get another one here, I suppose. Is forced to back off, however, as that flashbang lands over. Ooh, and Ezio dealing good amount of damage on a Brody right there. 41 HP remaining. Smokes, flashbang's got to be coming over. And a Molotov to land directly to coils, as that's been a very standard position earlier. Ooh, Mighty Max just making it out of that fire. Rezu on the gang. Knowing very well that this might be a B push, so they do put a lot of resources into blocking off any opportunity of them getting out there. Endpoint has let up middle, but no one has pushed, so no info has been given away really at this stage. CeX still are playing their output, and Gary, did he hear that he was switching weapons? Rezu?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh,
I mean, maybe it just went on a hunch and managed to find it, but either way, it actually tips the favor heavily into CEX's side. 35 seconds on the clock, and now Endpoint will go in for the push, and LS sets up a beautiful spray that takes down 2, looks for the 3rd, and finds it onto Ezio. And CeX are not done just yet.
Yeah, we're definitely going into another overtime here.
We are. I don't want to say definitely.
I'm trying to jinx it. I want to jinx it.
If you jinx it, I will come over to Sweden and I will. I don't even.
Kill
I don't. I don't know. I might kill. I might do a lot worse than kill you. I might torch you and then kill you, because we still have 2 more maps to go, ladies and gentlemen. We still have another best of 2 series between Scum, and I'm not sure who the other team is. I'll have to confirm that information in just a moment. But for the time being, it will be round number 27. Endpoint versus CEX here. I wonder if they've been defaulted from Masters. I'll find out in a second, to be honest. But right now, it will be Endpoint taking up the aggressive angles again. Very standard stuff we've been seeing coming out of them, and very standard stuff will be what they opt for. Astro and JD taking the defensive over towards short. Once again, CEX leave long alone, which for Endpoint, it is a very key choke point that they could potentially use to get themselves onto the site and behind the backs of CEX, as it will be, well, a lurk on 2 different areas here, one towards B site, one towards middle. And if Astro's not careful, he could get taken down very easy here. At the same time, if Endpoint are not careful, then Loza could get taken down very easily. It's not going to happen so far. But Ian, meanwhile, is expecting, well, CEX are expecting Ian to go ahead and push. So 15 to 11, 35 seconds on the clock now. Smoke does go out. They're going to try and see if they can hold it off for a little bit longer, but it looks like they're actually scrambling over towards A. JD picks up Mighty Max, and now it will be free sight for Endpoint, as there will be 2 players trying to defend the middle area. It's not going to happen. PT takes down Astro. JD still trying to set up a lock, a backstab, a 4 versus 4 situation. It will be Ezio still holding towards face. He might actually hear them out. He takes down JD, gets double peaked, however. It's a 2-for-2 trade, back to a 2-on-2 now, as it will be 2 players coming in from 2 different angles to try to set up this retake from CEX. Resu and LS might actually be in with a decent chance. Resu coming in towards the site is planted for the middle, planted for towards the bank area. PT and Loza are both in very similar positions. And it looks like Loza might go challenging onto LS. He actually does take him down. So Rezu looking for the chance here. Taps the bomb. Looks for PT, but PT takes him down. Endpoint. A lot shorter match. And your jinxes don't work today. 16 to 11. It favors the T side. It favors Endpoint.